everybody. So a few weeks ago, I had a chance to sit down with the band Witherfall and discuss what touring life is really like. And while a lot of this stuff is common sense, it's been my experience that musicians can sometimes be somewhat lacking in that department. So here's 13 ways to survive your first tour. Okay, so you've signed your first record deal, your songs have been released to the world, and it is time to hit the road. Here are some very helpful tips to help you survive touring life and to make sure that you'll be invited back for the next tour. Number 1, the headliners are the boss. It's their tour, you're the opening band. What they say goes, even if they are abandon all ships. Now, generally, there's a certain level of professionalism between headliners and openers, and you should be treated decently. Unless you're opening up for those demigods, then you should be grateful to even be there, you undeserving subhumans. So, unless your contract states otherwise, the headliners are calling the shots on things like showtime, how much of the stage you get, all the lights, PA, all of that good stuff. Just remember, you signed up for this. Number 2, talk to the other bands about sharing gear. Now do this before the tour starts. No, really, before. If you can share a 4x12 between bands, this can save on trailer space and rental costs, especially if you're touring overseas. Ask yourself just how important it is for you to bring along your own personal 4x12 and then take a look at what the expense will actually be. Number 3, endorsement deals don't cover road cases. Got a bunch of brand new shiny guitars from brand X? Well, they want to see them on your tour and they want to see them in your press shots. Just remember, you'll have to buy road cases for them, and those cost money. So keep that in mind before you decide to bring along 10 brand new guitars on your tour. Number 4, the headlining band's crew does not work for you. Now, those fine people already have a job taking care of the headliner. If you didn't hire your own crew, you're putting your own amp on stage, you dumb shit. Number 5, be 15 minutes early for showtime. None of the other bands on the show are going to adjust their show times just because your bass player was 5 minutes late for your set. Be there early. Start at the proper time, end at the proper time, and do not go overtime. Set times are there for a reason, so the other bands can move gear on and off stage. If you're the reason for the show being held up, there is a very good chance you will not be invited back for the next tour. Number 6, move your gear off stage quickly after the show. Talk to the headliner's stage manager to see what needs to be done for backline and teardown. Find out what is expected of you and your band and make sure that happens every single show. But most of all, get your stuff the fuck off the stage as quickly as possible. The whole show is waiting on you to do your job. Number 7, if you're not helping, you're in the way. This applies to you, your friends, and your family members. If you're busy, make sure they're in a designated safe area where they won't get in the way of anyone. Otherwise, have them help you move things. And that goes double for you, you lazy fuck. Number 8, the couches backstage are not for storage of your bags. This one is just human nature. You see it all the time at rehearsal space, recording studios, public transit. People love to make sure their bags are comfortable, especially at the expense of their fellow man. My old drummer used to put all his old skins on the couch at rehearsal, leaving nowhere for the rest of us to sit. This applies backstage as well. Yeah, thanks a lot, Bob. So just remember this when you're backstage. Put your fucking bags on the fucking floor where they fucking belong, you self-absorbed, inconsiderate bastard! Number 9, if you see food, ask the tour manager before eating it. Now, this is an easy way to cause a total disaster. If you eat another band's food when they're on stage, well, they might not get fed. And if they've got dietary restrictions, it might be impossible to replace that meal. So if you see food out on a table, make sure you ask first. Otherwise, you might wind up making enemies with the other bands, and that's a really bad idea. Number 10, do not miss bus call. The bus is leaving on time, with or without you. Be on it or find your own way to the next gig. Number 11, get permission before bringing guests on the bus. The bus is your home and home to the other bands as well. Before bringing anyone on board, get permission. It's just common courtesy. Number 12, bunk space is sacred. Don't ever mess with anyone on tour that is sleeping. Sleep is hard to come by, so don't make it more difficult for someone else. And as a general rule, stay the hell out of someone else's bunk. That's their space, not yours. Don't go in there unless somebody invites you or asks you to retrieve an item for them. Otherwise, stay the fuck out! Number 13, nothing solid in the bus toilet. Now this one's probably the most important of all. No number 2s on the bus. Solids can clog the bus toilet pipes, and the last thing you want is to have an overflow while on the road with a bus full of people, because it will take forever to get that stench out. Bringing your girlfriend on the bus? Make sure to tell her no tampons down the toilet, because guess what? If one winds up in there, it's gonna be your job to fish it out. You brought her on board, she is your responsibility. And yes, this has actually happened. So there you go, some very simple rules to follow to make touring life just a little bit easier for everyone involved. Being in a band is a fun job, but it is still a job. Be a professional, respect your bandmates and the other bands, and you'll probably have a great tour. Hey guys, if you liked the video, be sure to subscribe as I post every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. If you want to learn more about recording, check out one of my tutorials or one of my gear reviews if you want the actual honest truth about a piece of equipment. Till next time, stay metal, my friends.